Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Let's go.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the morning crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
And it's Friday.
I've created a monster, cause nobody wants to see Marshall no more. They want shady, I'm chopped liver. Well, if you want shady, this is what I'll give you. A little bit of weed mixed with some hard liquor, some vodka that'll jumpstart my heart quicker than a shock when I get shocked at the hospital by the doctor when I'm not cooperating. When I'm rocking the table while he's operating. Hey! You waited this long to stop debating, cause I'm back, I'm on the brag and ovulating. I know that you got a job, Miss Cheney, but your husband's heart problem's complicating. So the FCC won't let me be, or let me be me, so let me see. They try to shut me down on MTV, but it feels so empty without me.
Let's go. You made it to Friday. It's glorious. Here we go. A lot happening, obviously, today. Later on, we'll get to that in a second. First, in a few minutes, we will give you a chance to go to the When We Were Young Festival in Vegas. The key word of the day. We give it out first right around 6:15. It's active throughout the morning with us, and it gets you a trip to Vegas, a VIP trip. Yes, Kenzie wants to go along. She wants to be your plus one. You can arrange that off the air if you want to, but on the air when we give you that key word. Panic at the Disco, Blink-182, Weezer, The Offspring, Avril Lavigne, All Time Low, The Used, and more. Plus everything taken care of, and this is incredible. So we'll give you that first chance at it, the key word, in just a few minutes. In an hour, Clash with Kenzie, Dave Matthews Band tickets, one of your last chances at that. And then later on at 8, we have Case's movie review, The Breakup, which is a movie that's coming around of him wanting to do that for a while, or at least us telling him he should do that movie. And then it finally happened this week. And here we go.
I never volunteered to watch this movie. This was all you guys.
Yeah.
I volunteered to watch Brokeback Mountain.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And nixed that only...
And Brian's like,
only for the reason... First off, it's an incredible movie. It's also kind of sad.
Oh, no, The Breakup is a real fun watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's jovial, dare I say.
It
you
is.
didn't like it.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's not get ahead of ourselves in the review.
Sounds like you didn't like it.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's go up on pace here, because after all the show's over, which is a sad thing when the show ends on a Friday because we feel like we'll never see you again. Mm-hmm. And then Monday comes and we see you. But this is even better. We'll see you tonight at Picnic, Taste of Randolph. It launches today at 5 o'clock. It's all weekend. Q101's Picnic at the Taste of Randolph. West Loop, Peoria, and Racine, that whole stretch there. It's going to be amazing with bands Fantagram, OK Go, Slow Joy, Slow Pulp, and the return of Spitalfield. The music is the soundtrack to a freaking awesome time on the streets. And glad to hear there's a whole squad from Carpentersville coming in today. Jimmy and his friends are coming in tonight. And you can pick your night. You know, that's the best part about Picnic being at the Taste of Randolph. It's a $15 investment for a donation that helps out the West Loop neighborhood organization. So you should do that. It's a donation, and it's only $15. So when old days of and all the shows coming up, we talked about August, how crazy is you're saving your money for some shows. This is just a big-ass street party, block party with us.
I'm so excited. And then we have our little VIP section booth out there, and it's right next to the music stage. Pretty easy to locate. So find the stage, and then we'll be really close to it with a big sign. So you should come see us. I'm so excited.
The big sign says VIP section. Yeah, come on in.
And Q101.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with anything else.
Yeah, well, we'll be hanging out. Just, you'll probably wheeze your way in there with us. We'll probably let you in. Hey, just come on in. We'll let you in the store here. It's cool.
And honestly, even if for some reason you can't get in, I'll be walking around shopping for the most part, so you can come hang out with me anyways.
Yeah, and then she'll probably drop one of those VIP wrist bracelets, and you can just kind of walk in with us in the VIP section. Mm-hmm. It's pretty fun. Glad all of Carpentersville will be enjoying the festivities today at Picnic. Sponsored by Stella Artois and Neutral Vodka Seltzer. I like drinking both of those. You can drink one. You could drink both. You could drink, mix them together. They're flavorful and delicious. It's a good way to start the weekend.
You'll for sure be drinking both tonight.
Yeah, I'll mix them together. So join us at Picnic. All the information at Q101.com.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for a fact that makes your brain just go. And it's about today. Today. Something happens today that will not happen any other time the rest of the year. And it hasn't happened before, like every day this year. It hasn't happened yet, and it won't happen again. Today it happens, and it only happens today. What do you think that is? It's not picnic, by the way.
Does it happen every year though, or is this like the first time it's happened?
It does happen every year, and sometimes it happens multiple times a year, but this year it's just today only. What do you think it is, Kenzie?
A world of possibilities.
Yes. Very deep thinking going on there.
Men apologize.
Men apologize.
That can't be it.
Why would men apologize today, you think?
Just for everything.
Just today they apologize for everything.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Is there a woman
For sure hasn't happened to me yet this year.
Is there a woman apologize day somewhere to be fair and balanced?
I don't know, Brian.
Just guessing. If there's a men one, there should be a woman one too.
Should there?
Yes, there should be.
Okay.
No sex is perfect.
What?
No sex, no gender is perfect.
You don't want sex?
No, gender, I meant to say. Gender is perfect.
Oh, I think you said no sex is perfect. I'm like,
No,
okay, I mean, tell your wife.
No sex is terrible. It's a horrible thing.
Be very careful what you say.
All right, because Kenzie thinks today is a men apologize day. Case, what do you think it is?
Do the sun and the moon like kiss each other as they're passing by? Are we in an orbit where they go by each other and they're like, "Hey, good to see you again. I'll see you next year."
Give a little kiss on the cheek.
Yeah. Just a little sun kiss.
The
moon.
sun says sorry.
Yeah.
Kenzie, I don't know who needs to apologize to you, but I certainly hope they do.
Yeah, I hope it happens before.
It's not me or Brian that have wronged you. So
That's right.
You don't know that.
I feel like I do, though.
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty good with us right now. I have nothing to apologize
Right
for.
now? Last week, woof.
Well, I said today. It's not like, let's not go back in history. Good Lord. All right, take a guess at text line 312-591-8300. Something happens today that won't happen again the rest of the year. It hasn't happened yet either. Sometimes it happens multiple times a year, but this day is pretty special. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We'll tell you in 3.5 minutes.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for a fact that makes your brain go. Today, something happens that doesn't happen any other time this year. Hasn't happened yet, won't happen again. And some years have a couple of these. And Kenzie guessed Men Apologize Day.
Yeah. In fact, our boss just texted me and said, "I'm sorry for everything." And I'm like, well, it's about time.
So he was the one that needed to apologize to you, not myself or Case.
I just think I'm owed a few,
Yeah.
I think we all deserve a few.
Well,
Hey, that means a guy could apologize to you, by the way, too. Think about that.
Huh.
It doesn't mean only apologize to women.
I took it that way, but you're right. I think about it that way now.
Yeah, think about how many guys have been like rude as hell to you and they give you an apology.
I can't think of one guy ever apologizing to me. I'm trying to think of once in my
And
life.
that's my point. That was the point of the whole thing.
All right, I'm seeing where Kenzie's coming from.
Now I know how you feel. I was feeling fine this morning. Now I feel bad.
Yeah.
Damn.
Remember that one guy when you moved here who like shunned you and then you bought him a gift card when he moved? Wouldn't it be nice if he apologized to you?
Wow, you have a good memory. You're terrifying that you remember that. It's a true story about a friend of mine, and we don't need to get into it right now, but we were really good
You
friends.
are owed an apology from him.
I am, because I apologize to him when I feel like I did only a little bit wrong, but he did more wrong.
Yeah. No,
And-
he like gaslit you, which happens a lot with guys. No offense. It even happened to you. It happens to guys too, guys. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He gaslit you into feeling like you did something wrong and you apologized.
Which I rarely apologize. Well, I shouldn't say that.
Again, my point.
I apologize when I know I've done something wrong. But I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not going to apologize just to make the other person feel better when I know I didn't do anything wrong.
But in this scenario, you did. He got your ass.
He did get my ass. And he
I
didn't
know.
and he didn't apologize. I'm like, "I'm sorry."
know.
He's like, "I know."
And
Usually,
that was it. And you're owed an apology from him. And
Yep.
that's what I'm saying. Today should be your day.
yeah, we haven't talked in years now, and I miss the guy. I miss him.
Well, you should get an apology. That would irritate me.
Clearly. Because we can hear the tone.
And tell him.
Who's the last person you apologized to?
Besides
his wife.
Megan?
Yeah, Megan doesn't count.
Okay, Megan doesn't count.
No.
Besides your wife or your daughter.
Because you're saying sorry every day.
Yeah, I'm so sorry you can't have more toys. I'm sure she runs your world, bro. So besides them, who do you think the last person you apologize to?
Case is better at remembering my life than me. When have I screwed up recently and I apologize to someone?
Yeah, you've had a few.
I can't think of any right now.
It's just, well, you've apologized to me a lot just for, procrastinating on things I've asked you to do. Have you signed up for your Lollapalooza press pass yet?
You know what? I did it last night.
Good for you.
I did
All
it.
right, hit the rap horns.
Yeah, how
you
about
deserve
it?
that.
He just smiled so big.
That's awesome, man.
Can't keep me out of Lala.
That's awesome. All right, let's do a fact. Here we go.
And just by the way, in case you didn't know, was it last year I forgot to do it?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, forgot to put our media
Boy,
pass in.
you know what? You owe that employee an apology.
I was a little terse, is the word, with a
You-
Lala
you-
employee.
You literally said, "This is ridiculous. I work in media." And she's like, "But sir, you never apply."
I've been going to Lollapalooza since its inception. All I said was, it's fine. Just give me the pass so I can get in there and do my job.
She's like, I don't have. They're all in bags with people's names on them, and there's no bag with your name.
This is the problem with Gen Z.
Okay.
No critical thinking, no common sense.
Okay.
It's fine. I obviously work here at Q101, right? Obviously.
But why? So again, just to clarify, so what happens is when you work at Q101, you get an email from Lollapalooza that's like, hey, if you want to cover Lollapalooza, you have to click this link, sign up, and then we have to approve you. That gets you on the festival grounds.
And then they leave a bracelet for you.
Yes.
That's what happened.
And 2 years ago, Brian did none of that, and then showed up at Lala and was like, "I'll take my bracelet, please."
And then was mad at the 15-year-old working bracelets.
She wasn't 15. Also,
Close enough.
Also, she used to work here. So it was very clear she knew that I work at Q101.
I understand, but I don't think she had extra. They're not like, here's a handful in case some huge celebrities show up. Which is like that's not what they're doing.
I think they do have those, and they had easily one ready. They're little flimsy little bracelets you probably could buy at Walgreens and copy them and get backstage if you wanted to.
We don't endorse
I
that,
wouldn't
by the
recommend
way.
doing
We don't
that.
do that.
All I'm saying is it would have been nice to just have some common sense go on here in the world, and instead, I had to use Kenzie's bracelet the whole weekend when she went in.
I had to grease it off my wrist.
Those bracelets don't come. I'm sitting there saying, Kenzie, make sure
I
you don't.
lost all circulation.
I said, Kenzie, don't make it tight. And she goes, what? And I'm like, oh no, this bracelet we have to share.
I had to go up to every vendor and ask if they had butter. I could rub it on me. I was cooking in the sun.
When you see Kenzie's wrists, this is not a joking way, but she's never tried to kill herself. That's just from the. That's just from the Lala bracelet she had to get on and off.
Many people are confused by that. It's just the Lala bracelet.
It's just the Lala bracelet.
It was just for Brian, who thought it was ridiculous. They didn't preemptively have press available for him.
So, Case, I don't need to apologize to you today because I applied for my Lala media pass last night.
All right. Let's get to this fact. What happened today? I thought the sun kissed the moon. I'm being told on the text line that's physically impossible.
It is. They're a little distance, they're off. But in the sky, they could possibly, never mind. Whatever. Let's get to the fact. The fact is, today's Friday the 13th. It's the only one of the year. Friday the 13th. And many times, like for example, 2026 will have 3 Friday the 13th. There were 2 last year. There's only 1 this year. So here it is. Some people revel in it, enjoy it. Some people are terrified of it, stay inside. I don't know the feeling of it. And if we go back in time to figure out why Friday the 13th is scary, we can go all the way back. And disproportionately, this show has talked about the Last Supper many times.
I would like to apologize.
That's one of our things here.
We're about to do it again. So, at the Last Supper in Christianity, Judas was the 13th guest at the Last Supper, and he's the one who betrayed Jesus.
Not good.
Jesus was crucified on Friday, further solidifying the association with bad luck on Friday the 13th. If they'd have done Thursday, it would have been Thursday the 13th. It would have been a bad day. It was Friday. That goes back all the way to the Last Supper.
I did not know that's where that came from.
Yeah, I mean, there's other things going through it. In Norse mythology, fear of Friday the 13th, the trickster god Loki, the 13th guest at a feast, caused chaos and death
Does that have to do? Is that anything to do with the Marvel character Loki, who's like very mischievous?
I gotta admit, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But
Just curious.
I'm sure our Marvel people could check in and verify that.
Oh boy, we're about to get really blown up aggressively.
I was self-admittedly, I'm not 100% sure, but you could be right on
Okay.
that. I don't know, Kenzie. You're very astrology. I don't know. I don't want to use the word superstitious, but maybe you are. Does
Yeah.
Friday the 13th freak you out?
No, in fact, a lot of people who are on the witchy side of the world think there's a lot of power in the number 13, and that's what the world does. Is they don't want you to have power, so they try to do it as something of fear. If that makes sense. There's supposed to be a lot of power actually behind that number. And today is actually my parents' anniversary, and they got married on a Friday, the 13th, but they got married.
Happy anniversary, Kenzie's parents. Mm-hmm. What are they doing to celebrate?
They're going out to dinner tomorrow night. They're really gonna, turn up.
They're going to the Olive Garden, which is nice. It's very nice. Case, are you scared today at all?
I'm scared every day.
Well,
Friday the 13th is no different. I got to wake up and be me. It's terrifying. You try doing that on Friday the 13th or Thursday the 12th.
That is pretty scary.
Oh, my God.
Do you do anything different today? Now we have picnic today. We want to see everybody down at picnic at the Taste of Randolph at Q101.com, all the information for that. So don't be afraid to come out. It's going to be fine. Now I say that, and this is all on tape. Maybe those are bad words put out there, and that's going to predict something happening.
I mean, I hope not. I hope nobody's walking under ladders or bringing black cats to picnic. I don't want to see... What is it? If you spill salt, that's bad news? I don't know what all the things are. I'm petrified every single day. Today's no different.
If you spill salt, is that bad?
Isn't that bad luck? What's the salt thing that's bad luck?
You can throw salt over your shoulder for good luck, like
Oh.
cleanse it. But you don't want to. You don't want to spill it, and you also don't want to throw salt into the earth. Some people do that. It's not good for the ground, so never do that.
Well, why is it? But I like salt. It's good for me. Why is it bad for the earth?
It won't break up. Like it's not good to put salt into like dirt. Some people who are like. So again, some people do witchy things dispose of their salt outside, and you're not supposed to do that.
Can you believe that spilling salt goes back to the Last Supper too?
Well, I totally
Did somebody
can.
spill salt? Was it Judas?
It was Judas. So here, spilling
Wow,
salt.
he was just firing on all cylinders.
So besides Judas being the 13th guest and betraying Jesus, and then he was crucified on a Friday, and Friday the 13th,
Besides that,
which was pretty bad.
Not good.
Pretty bad. You can't say you're sorry on Men's Apologize Day for that and get, no one's going to say, it's cool, we're good. No one's going to do that. The origin of the superstition of salt is associated with Judas spilling the salt at the Last Supper. And that's depicted in Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. If you look at that painting very carefully, I guess you can see the salt spilled.
oh,
So
How do people know that?
because I think it looks
These are
like
the
salt.
details that blow my mind. Who reported salt got spilled and it traveled all this time?
Well, it's in the painting. So,
Yeah, but he wasn't there. Leonardo da Vinci wasn't there.
well, how did they look at a picture of it and then paint it off a picture?
That's what I'm saying. Nobody took a selfie at the Last Supper.
but do you think Jesus leaked it to the press? He leaked it to like the Bethlehem Times and was like, "Can you believe what Judas did at this dinner? He spilled salt," and then word spread. It was in the paper the next day that Judas was a salt spiller, and then Judas was like, "Well, I'm gonna have to ruin Jesus's weekend and crucify him on a Friday. I was gonna do this on Tuesday, but he pissed me off. Now I gotta ruin his weekend."
It's probably exactly what happened.
It's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Also, spilling salt's terrible because salt is so delicious. That's wasted salt.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Well, there you
Other
go.
bad stuff like walking under a ladder is bad luck. Breaking a mirror.
Did Judas do that at the Last Supper,
I
too?
don't know.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Well, we just got through the fact that makes your brain go boom. It's Friday the 13th, and we discovered that part of that myth starts from Judas at the Last Supper, where he was the 13th guest, and Jesus executed on a Friday, and that's where Friday the 13th, some of the origins of it, some people say. Also, Ivan checked in and said on the text line that you realize that Judas is so close to Jonas. Last Supper, son of a bitch.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
Pretty close. All right, coming up in sports.
You just have to know the other disciples were like, well, we voted for Sebastian. Somehow Judas got.
Coming up a lot in sports with the Cubs last night. Something that aired on the Marquee Network that you will be astounded by. We'll talk to that. Besides Pete Crow Armstrong just being on fire. But yesterday, Kenzie found this audio on TikTok of a high-end concierge that organizes, fabulous, like those Dubai-type extravaganzas for celebrities.
Oh, yeah. So her job is travel agent to the rich and famous, okay?
Yeah. And so the audio is of her getting a call from someone that's not happy with something part in the trip, which happens to be organic food in the fruit basket, not the trip or the place where you're staying itself. And it sounds a lot like Dave Grohl. She says Dave.
Yeah, so his name is for sure Dave, and it's for sure somebody either it's like borderline billionaire and named Dave. So, and it sounds like him.
Here's the audio. You judge for yourself. It's 60 seconds of the phone call, and you judge for yourself.
Hey, Dave, how are you?
Things are okay. To be honest, I'm a little upset. I know I'm a new client, and you didn't know this, but I figured all your other clients would be similar to me. Hey, off taste, so I just assumed, you would know.
What's going on? Maybe I can help? My apologies if I missed anything.
No. Those brave and everything, but I'm just upset with the welcome basket. The fruit wasn't organic, and I mean, maybe it was, but I didn't see an organic sticker, and I'm just upset. Like, I feel like I would have seen a sticker.
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I just wanted to let you know.
Well, to let you know, I actually worked with the team on site to make sure that you had, a very particular welcome gift. I know it included mangoes that were locally grown from out there. If there were other fruits in there, I can't guarantee that they were also local.
Yeah, but just because they're local doesn't mean they're organic. Like they need a sticker. Maybe just request from the grocery store.
Okay, I will do, Dave. Other than that, is your stay okay?
Yeah, I mean, other than the pretty large thing, I'm happy about this Amman. It's beautiful. I think we made the right decision to upgrade to the 2-bedroom Palawan. The villa is unbelievable.
Okay, all right. Okay, fabulous. Well, contact your butler if you need anything else.
All right, okay, thanks. And just a reminder again, next time, let's just get organic from the grocery store, all right?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, okay. See you.
Bye, Dave.
She handled that very well. Now, some people are saying that's Dave Grohl. If you don't know what Dave Grohl sounds like, you haven't heard enough interviews here on Q101. He's stopped by so many times. Here's him telling a story about the Christopher Walken story from when he introed them on Saturday Night Live on with the Foo Fighters and how he got there, that phrase.
We did Saturday Night Live, and Christopher Walken was the host.
Amazing.
And he comes up and he's like, he asked us if the accent was on Foo or Fighters. And we know who he is. Like, of course, we know how he speaks. And we said, the accent is on Fighters, actually. So he goes up.
How did he ask you? How did he ask you?
I'm not going to say that because he goes up. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters.
Now again, the fruit guy, the complaint guy, I should say.
Hey, how are you?
Things are okay. To be honest, I'm a little upset. I know I'm a new client, and you didn't know this.
Okay, so you can kind of see how they could be mistaken. He says Dave. Dave's rich, worth $200 million, and maybe
And similar cadence. Like, he definitely doesn't have the deep voice and all that. Like, because Dave does it, there is it's a little jovial like Dave.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people checked in and thought it was Dave Navarro of Jane's Addiction.
Which is fair.
So I Googled Dave Navarro interview, and the first thing comes up is Dr. Phil when he was on there about Dave Navarro wanting to meet his mother's killer in jail. I swear that's the first thing that comes up on the search.
There's got to be like a second thing that comes up, though.
Well, we've interviewed him. We should have a Q101 interview with Dave Navarro, but this is what I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely used drugs as an escape from the death issue.
Death issue.
Terrible. His mom was murdered.
Let's talk about the fruit again. Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah, not the fruit. So you can see how that could sound a little bit like that guy.
All your other clients would be similar to me. Hey, off taste, I just assumed, you would know.
I don't know. You decide, because we've really come to
Does he say that you have taste? I just assumed you would know.
Let me see here.
So I just assumed, clients would be similar to me. Client, and you didn't know this, but I figured all your other clients would be similar to me. Hey, off taste, I just assumed, you would know.
You say by taste, or I couldn't understand if he said you had taste.
I was trying to figure out what he said there. I thought he said, you have taste. I just figured you would know.
And a lot of Daves have come, and it's not David Lee Roth.
Although it could be.
It's not David Draymond.
It's not David Draymond.
No. I'm curious what you think. And Kenzie thinks it's Dave Grohl. Case thinks it's not Dave Grohl. You think it could be Dave Navarro, even though you're a big Ink Master fan. You don't want to out Dave
Navarro. No, I think it's Dave Navarro. I threw out the name Famous Dave. I threw out Dave Chappelle. I threw out Super Dave Osborne. I don't know if it's him or not. Rest in peace.
Could be an old footage.
It could be found footage of Super Dave Osborne complaining about not having organic fruit. That seems like a real possibility.
Yeah.
But I'm going Dave Navarro. I think this is the type of thing, and I don't know how to phrase this in a more appropriate way, but I look at the way Dave Navarro dresses, a lot of fedoras, a lot of thick-rimmed glasses, a lot of scarves. This seems like the type of thing a Dave Navarro would complain about.
I have to say, though, so under the video, because when she said, hey, Dave, like, I stopped on this video, it just popped up on my For You page, and I paused, because I'm like, God, his voice sounds familiar. When I open up the comments, overwhelmingly so, they're like, this is Dave Grohl. And I don't know who this person is, but apparently they're an expert, and they go, it is him. He's talked about only eating organic fruit before in all caps. So somebody has done some sort of deep dive to find out that Dave Grohl does have an organic fruit thing going on.
Well, you've heard the audio. You decide. You can text in and let us know what you think at 312-591-8300. We'll get to Q101 Sports after the Lumineer. It's just 2 minutes away. It's Brian and Kenzie, Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.